Hey, thank you for joining us. I'm Michael Muller. We have a very special guest today who is going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff, including heating and cooling and schooling and something great that's happened with the organization with Getty Images. So, Ernie, why don't you introduce yourself? Let's work at this camera right back here. Oh, right over there. Right over Say there. Who you are and the name of your company.
All right. Good morning. Good morning to everyone. And my name is Ernie Gomez, and I'm with Level 5 HVAC, and we are in the air conditioning training school right now.
Yes.
And we're helping students all through South Florida get trained and certified.
So let's look back a little while ago. A couple years ago, you were teaching some classes over at Florida International University.
Yes.
And you were and it was in the construction arena, and your specialty was it's HVAC, heating,
ventilation, and air conditioning.
And air conditioning classes, and people could go to those classes and get certified in that, and it's easier for them to get jobs and easier for an employer to be able to want to hire them.
That's correct. That's correct.
So when was that? A couple of years ago?
That was, yes. Actually, we started that program about 4 years ago, and it was an opportunity, right, by networking. They came out and reached out, actually it was Ralph Casals in one of our meetings with someone else that knew.
Town manager of Cutler Bay.
The town manager of Cutler Bay, which knew someone at FIU that had a need for someone to teach HVAC. And so Ralph put it kind of together, said, hey, Ernie, we have someone that you may be able to help. And one-on-one, we put this together, and we started teaching in our school. FIU had a program, construction trade program for HVAC, and they sent us the students to get them trained and certified through NCCR, which is a national accreditation program. That's how it all began.
And that's important that the organization be recognized.
That's correct. Yes.
So then you said, okay, FIU sort of migrated into where you do those classes of schooling at your place of business, where you sell air conditioning to wholesale.
That's correct, right? Because that's our customer. So we give it a little pivot. From the industry, we are from the industry. So what we did versus having a regular vocational school that handles 10 different programs, right? From dental to whatever it is. No, we are from the trade. So we're an HVAC wholesale factory distributor where we train and certify engineers, architects, and contractors in the products that they install. So this is what really led us to train students in the future, because we were training the contractors, right? So they were like, Ernie, why don't you train my students? And that's how FIU came and said, hey, why don't you train our students? So, hey, this took a little pivot, and HVAC Providers is the backbone of Level 5 HVAC. Yeah. And now we're a construction trade school on our own, representing NCCR as well.
Who knew?
Yes.
So in today's environment of AI, it's interesting how that's switched around, where people don't have to be as concerned. Today they need to be concerned about what they're going to be doing in 2 years and 5 years, and we see it switching all the time. So you have students that go down to your school, yes. And it's the class is all set up. And how many weeks is that class? And
so we have different programs available, and like what you're trying to say, let's a little backtrack. The reason why HVAC is in demand right now is because of what you just said. The jobs, right? AI is going to be taking over, and we see it right now. Tons of companies are releasing workers, right? Because now they found an AI to minimize the work of an 8-hour employee, and they could now analyze, right, for that employee, not pay benefits, not pay insurance, and a computer's doing the work, right? So yes, but now there's a new person, right, and the other end that needs to manage that computer, right, no matter what. So jobs are changing.
Yes.
It's not that jobs are being eliminated, but they're changing hands, right? Yes. Because of the technology. So what's being considered is, well, we need to look at what can we do hands-on, right? That's going to be bulletproof, what we'll call it, right? That we will be able to sustain our family, we'll be able to earn an income, employ others, right? And make this company grow, make it a first, second, third generation business where you're going to guarantee your family, right, and family to come that, hey, we're going to have money. Because AI is not going to take over. I don't see any robots, fixing air conditioning.
Not yet.
Not yet, right?
So let's talk about the classes. So you have a whole range of students.
Yes.
What's the age range?
Age range, I would say getting right out of high school. We love students coming right out of high school because they have no bad habits, right? So we like to train them from scratch.
Not the ones we want to talk about.
Right. We don't want them with bad habits. We want to, and if they come in with bad habits, we'll take those away because the contractor is going to be hiring you once you to work in the manner that they function.
So let's look at this. So let's say 17, 18, 19-year-old high school graduate's looking for work. He can get into the classes that you offer, and there are employers that want to have somebody that was educated and that they know the classes, they understand the certification. So it's easy for the employer to say, okay, we'll try this guy.
Yes, of course. And then the opportunity comes where they come to our program, like you were asking. It's a program. It's called Level 5 HVAC, the school. And there's a website under level5hvac.com. And in there, you'll see it's a construction trades program directed only in air conditioning. So the program is now a boot camp program on Saturdays that we put together, 6 to 8 weekends, only on Saturdays, 2 hours each class. We have up to 3 classes on Saturday. Depends on your budget. Depends on how much time you have, but it gives the student an ability to be able to get his certification. Again, we give you no license, okay? And this is one thing that's happening, Michael Miller, and it's sad that students believe that because they come to a construction trade school or a school, right, that they're going to get a license, and sometimes they get misled. It's not a license. They get a certification. Because
I've taken these classes and I passed the class.
Exactly. I took the class. I have the knowledge. We as instructors or as a director of the school is going to have a curriculum to follow, practical information that they're going to have to do hands-on to be able to pass, right? They're going to have to pass with a 70% or more. Pass all those modules, and at the end of those 8 weekends, they'll be able to get a certification for that specific class, that being soldering. From there, they could move into the other class, which will be probably the EPA class, the Environmental Protection Agency class, which protects us from the ozone layer, right, and the depletion of the refrigerant. That class, it's also 6 to 8 weekends, okay, 2 hours every Saturday. And there's a cost for the class, the book, registration, you get a uniform, hat, everything is involved. And then you get a certification with that. But what I've put together in this program is these 2 programs together so that they at least can become employable. Got it?
Yes.
So now they know how to solder, they know how to vacuum, they know how to do the essential things that we feel as industry leaders, what they need to know. And with that in hand, and having at least that EPA certification, no license, they could go ahead and start to work for a company. And what companies are they going to work for? Our customers from HVAC providers. That's the idea. We're going to be an ecosystem for the contractors, for the student, because our contractors are our customers through HVAC providers, and they're going to be employing these students, giving them the opportunity, okay, to start working.
Because they know you and they trust you. These classes are going to get them to that basic level.
And they get employed. Now it's up to the student if they want to move up, right? So now the company's going to take them and they're going to say, this is what you need to learn. The company's going to allocate you where they want. Right? In this trade, there's going to be different aspects. Okay. There's going to be duct work. There's going to be, right, where it itches, right? People don't like, right, right? But you got to do duct work, because if you're going to be a contractor, you're going to go up in the attic. It's going to be hot, right? People don't like it, but it's part of the job. You're going to be in it, but soon you're going to be out of it, but you have to learn it, right? Because when I send here a company that's going to fix your air conditioner, right? And they come in and they say, hey, you need new ductwork, and all it was is just insulation. How do you feel about it?
We know how that works because of you.
Exactly. So we want to train the student in the right way.
I did want to share with our viewers, you were here a couple of weeks ago, and we're walking around. I said, it's hot in here. And you immediately said, there's no insulation. You didn't have to look. You knew.
I felt it.
Yes.
As I was walking, I felt the heat coming in. You have a very low profile roof here, and I just felt the heat as I was walking.
And we put the insulation in, and it made a huge difference. I do want to point out, which I said earlier, I had several other air conditioning guys coming, and they couldn't figure out why we had 2 5-unit tons back there, and they couldn't figure out why it wasn't cooling.
Exactly.
They didn't get from where they were to this next step. None of them.
So guess what? When our students start in our class, the first thing I asked them is, what do we cool? We cool this. And I said, no, we don't cool anything. And they're like, what do you mean we don't cool? You guys blow cold air, right? In the class. We remove heat. You understand?
Yes.
That's the concept behind it. So it's heat load.
So there's an old saying where you go out and you see the sculptor, he's sculpting ice, and he's got a big block of ice, and you say, how do you make a beautiful sculpture out of this? He says, I take off the stuff I don't want.
Exactly.
And so what you're saying is, I don't want the heat.
Exactly.
And you're able to remove that.
Exactly. So we calculate the AC based on what the heat load is, based on the insulation, the windows. All that is first taken into consideration to properly size the unit, because not every house has the same height. Not every house has the same insulation. Let's talk the same location.
So the trades have been getting a big push recently in the last year. We see it, tremendously.
Yes.
And I know if I call a guy to come into my house, I already know no matter what he does, it's a minimum of $500. I don't care what he does. I just know that at this point.
Exactly.
Because the high in demand.
Yes.
So you had some visitors from a worldwide recognized organization the other day, went to your place. Why don't you tell us about that?
Sure. So I'm so excited about our program, to be honest. And first of all, I want to thank Miami Community Newspaper for always giving us the opportunity, because actually I feel we were born here, to be honest, and I love to make the stories right and make them grow.
Yes.
Right now we have about 21, 22 recordings since we started 4 years ago in our program.
Yes.
And it's progressing, and I'm always going to keep you up to date. And
yes.
First, I want to thank all our viewers, Miami Community Newspaper, Grant Miller, Michael Miller. I mean, you guys are amazing, helping our community, informing them really of what's happening, right? And if you don't watch this information, you're not going to be up to par, right, with AI and which way should I go now, right? So that being said, Getty Images had a task for one of their photographers to go out and, again, find out what's happening.
So what was the trigger for them to call you? There's something out of the blue that said, we're going to go over there or in the industry and we're going to pick you.
Yes, exactly.
How did that happen?
It just happened on a phone call. My name is Joe, and he's the photographer, and he said, is this a level 5 HVAC? And I said, sure. And we're doing a task on the demand for construction trades program and HVAC specifically, and we would love to come into your office and take some pictures. I'm like, okay.
You can't believe the guy I got on this phone call right now. That was you, I can just see.
Actually, when I got online and I went to their website, I was like, oh my God, okay, get ready, guys. Let's clean up our shop and make it look beautiful. And I want to share with you some images from the program where they came in. And so here's one of our instructors. His name is Brian. He started with us as a student. Okay, this instructor right here started with us 4 years ago as a student. The one with the ponytail, with the shirt that says level 5. And he started with us as a student, working for a contractor for now nearly 3 years, and he's become an instructor in our school. He already passed the 4 levels for NCCR, which is the program that we teach as a construction trades national accredited program. And Brian already finished those 4 levels and now is studying to get the certification as an instructor. But for my boot camp, he already teaches.
Okay, we have another picture too.
These are some of the equipment that we use at level 5. So basically we take the welding kits, everything, we put it all apart, and we let the student assemble it together. And again, these are all Getty images. As you can see, they all have their logo in there.
I noticed you got guys of all ages, but I don't see any women in that class. Do we have any
Actually, we do.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. We want to see a picture of her somewhere in there.
So yes, we train young individuals. We train individuals are in the trade that want to learn.
Is this one of your instructors right there?
That's one of our instructors showing them with the flame on how to adjust the flame. Basically, there is a way to hold that handle. As you could see, his fingers and hands, because one handle goes left, the other one goes right for safety. We're mixing oxygen and acetylene together. So we have fire and we have oxygen on the other end. So anything around it could really blow up. We cannot have oil around there, right? Because it'll be very flammable. And right next to that wall, as you could see, we have a fire extinguisher, right, where we have to have, by code, A, B, C, D fire extinguisher. We train the students on the difference here right behind the welding kit. So X amount of feet, we have to have one for safety. All our equipment are plug and play. So basically, if the unit is not plugged in, nobody's going to get electrocuted or anything, because we are making sure, right, of anything plug and play. Everything has a disconnect box.
Is this one of your regular Saturday classes?
This is my regular Saturday classes. All the students, as you see, they have, if you could go back to that picture, they have a level 5 shirt, right, with their logo. So part of the registration, they get a professional shirt, they get a hat, we're a team. The instructors wear a different color hat. And of course, my stepdaughter, which is Andrea, she's here, right, always behind the scenes. She's our proctor. So she's the one that handles all our exams. She's been with us since day one with level 5 and HVAC provider. Kudos to Andrea. Thank you for always being there. All right. And here, Brian is in the classroom teaching, of course, or his lecture. So we do lecturing inside, and we do hands. So
how do these students these students in particular, how did they wind up at your taking this class? What was that journey like?
So I guess the word is getting around, and we're nonstop, as you could see, with students. We have right now we're about 6 to 8 students on Saturdays. At times we may have 1 or 2. Because these graduate and then they start to get a job. And we've been continuously like this running the program for 4 years.
That's wonderful.
And Andrea would say one day, a student doesn't show up, and I'm like, we still have to be here.
A year or 2 ago, when I was down there, it looked like there was a manufacturer's representative on a certain type of machine was there showing some of your customers, hey, this is the new machine now, and this is how this works.
Yes.
And if there's a problem, this is where you go.
Yes.
And that's you provide that service to your customers, so they can, if you will, they can say to one of their customers, hey, we got this machine, and we're going to be able to take care of it.
Honestly, listen, there is no loyalty, and to all due respect to HVAC contractors, no loyalty to HVAC contractors. All they care is about a price. All they care is about, let me have it now, and I get it. But we want to move that needle to another level. That's why we're a level 5 HVAC, right, training school, but also HVAC providers. If you are wanting to buy parts and buy a box and sell a box, we're not the place for you to come. Okay, we sell you much more than that. We provide you with training. We provide you with the proper certification. We'll get you leads. We'll get you installs. We specialize in small duct high velocity, which is a specialty product.
I saw one of those at a home show.
Right, exactly, at the home show. Yeah. So we specialize in stuff that no one has. So no one can come and say, hey, you need to sell at this price.
That high-powered, what do you call it?
Small duct high velocity systems.
It was remarkably quiet considering the volume of air that it was
right.
producing.
Remember we did a presentation with the horn, and no sound comes through it. So for recording studios, okay, and all of these kind of deals,
like
it's
the
an
recording
amazing
studios that we have here.
You would not believe it. You would not believe. You would not hear the air conditioner. If you do, I'll refund you your money, 100%.
You hear that first right here. Okay.
You will not hear it. I'm telling you right now. The units are fully insulated, and they have an outlet where there are 6 feet of sound attenuator, which serves like a muffler. You will not hear no sound.
Before we leave, I have a room I'd like to show you.
Yes, right? Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So you have these classes. It's 2 hours every Saturday for 6 to 8 weeks. That's a module of all the classes that you offer.
Right.
So you get certified in welding, get certified in air conditioning, duct certified, and so they can take all these certificates and they can go to a potential employer. Hey, listen, I've taken these classes over there with my friend Ernie over there. I know Ernie because I buy stuff from him.
Right.
So let's give it a shot.
That's right. And that's how it's going.
All right. So
Thank you.
What do we have here?
So these are air conditioning filters. A lot of misled information with consumers, right? Buying filters for the house and spending a lot of money. And Michael Miller's going to say, well, Ernie, we should have had this conversation before, like we always do, right? So
folks, I'm afraid to take them around our place over here and show them these. So Michael, you got all the wrong ones. I know that's around the corner.
So this is a poly filter. Okay, a poly filter is a more dense filter. It's a more expensive filter that if it's for people have allergies and stuff like that, I would recommend something like this. The pleated filter, which mostly everyone loves and buys, senseless and buying. You're spending all this money and throwing all your money away for no reason.
I'm not taking you to the back. Okay. But let's look at, this is the one that's got this nice wire on there.
Yes.
Right? And by the way, how do you know which way is supposed to be up?
Okay, so they have an arrow, okay, on the side of the filter, they have an arrow where it says where the airflow goes. So if the airflow goes that way, the filter's got to go in this way because this retainers is the one that holds the air from this filter not boggling in and being sucked up.
Oh, so the metal is like
goes
up
on the
against where the coil is.
Yes, correct. And
So
this
it
goes in
doesn't
the
suck
bottom.
up all this stuff.
That is correct.
Okay, Miller,
Correct.
that's the first problem.
That's the first problem. Okay, so you're putting in the filters the wrong way. Okay, level 5 HVAC. So the little grooves, it goes up. This is the bottom part. Okay. Now the other thing I want to show you is this is a more dense filter. If we have some lighting here, you could see that you cannot see almost through this filter, right?
Yep.
So imagine that we put this on a conventional system, and now we have 30 days of dust that just went into this filter. What do you think is going to happen to your air conditioning unit? The unit's not going to be breathing properly. And what's going to happen, the amperage is going to go up on the motor.
Yep.
Because it's going to have to work harder
Yep.
to breathe better.
So a different filter would do it differently.
Exactly. So
But
what
so
I
where does the dust
recommend,
go?
so what I recommend is use a regular fiberglass filter. As long as you change your filter every 30 days, use a regular fiberglass filter that you could almost see through it. Now it's going to get dirty and then it's going to become like this one in 30 days, that dense. Now you're ready to change it and you don't have to spend double the price on that filter. So other retail stores that you're going to buy a filter, you'll be paying for one filter between $8 to $10. If you buy a fiberglass filter now, you're going to be paying between $3 to $5. So it's your call.
Okay.
And we sell you a box, 12 filters in a box, so it covers every single month, and you don't have to go out every month or every 3 months to go buy another 3-pack of filters, spend gas and time.
You send it out, you have it on.
We have it in stock. We have it available through HVAC providers. Okay, we don't want to mislead here, but we have a supply store, and through there we could.
Okay, so we
could
so we
supply
see
them.
this one. So this would go like this. This is up against the coils.
That's coil.
So
and that's the bottom
and this
part.
one's sort of okay,
Right.
So this one's pretty thick. Here.
Again, I bring these out because these are like for hospitals. It has a higher MERV grade, and people are buying these mistakenly because they don't know any better, and they're buying a more dense filter that they don't need.
I see this around
Everywhere.
MERV 8.
Yes. That's very high MERV, not needed for a regular residential house.
So what would we use around here?
We would use a MERV 11 or something, yes, or something more practical, less costly, and we could look at that later on.
We're supporting the wrong
HVAC
place.
providers,
Okay.
yes, exactly.
The wrong
yes.
place, folks.
Exactly.
All right, so let's look at this one over here. Let's look at this guy here.
So this guy, it's an amazing filter. So good thing you brought it up.
In the kitchen.
No. So that one, well, you could use it for several things. So that one, guess what?
What? I'm afraid to ask.
No.
I've been doing them wrong for 50 years. But
Yes, you have.
what?
Okay. So this one, we sell you the filter roll material. The frame stays the same, and all you do is just cut away the frame, and you don't have to spend the money in the carton every month, right? In the metal every month. All we sell you is what you need. So if you need just the material, we sell you the material in a roll. You cut out the size for your filter. You put it in here, slide it in your machine, and you don't have to go out and buy another filter.
Well, speaking of, so there's sometimes I see disposable where you could clean a filter.
No.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Because once you clean it and it's wet and you put it back, now you're clogging the unit. Don't do that. Unless you have multi-filters.
Oh, my God.
You clean one, you put it outside, you let it dry, and then you put it back in. Not recommended either.
Andre, we've been doing it wrong all these years. What are you going to do?
All right, so
air conditioning filters. Okay, we got that. So let's talk a little bit about, for the average homeowner, let's talk about when you put your air conditioner on auto and you set it to whatever the temperature is, right? And you just slam that thing, you put that thing on. What should be the average temperature in the afternoons or evening for South Florida at this time of the year? What do you want that thermostat set to?
Okay, so in the time that we are right now, I've seen temperatures of 103 degrees, right? Roughly. So imagine if outside is 103 degrees, how much temperature you think it's in your attic?
Oh, I don't know, another
120, right?
20% more.
More. So 120 degrees in your attic. And what's running through your attic? Ductwork.
Yep.
Right? And inside the ductwork, we have just an insulation that's trying to protect
Yep.
from 120 degrees attic inch-and-a-half insulation, and now I have my cold air driving into that ductwork into variables rooms, right? So if you keep me cold at 80 degrees and I have 120, I'm not going to keep that house cool. It's going to be 100 in the house.
Yep.
Because the differential on an AC unit is 15 to 18 degrees in the coil. So the temperature coming out from your coil to what's coming out in your AC, if you get a thermometer, you have about 15 to 18 degrees differential.
So let's talk a little bit about the outside units. What do we call that? The
Condensing unit.
The condensing unit outside.
Yes.
So I hear these different stories. People say you should have bushes around them so it's cooler.
No. Keep them clean around. If it's in a shade, yes, but no bushes around it because you're restricting the airflow.
It doesn't matter if there's a tree over it in the sense that you're trying to keep it cooler. Does that make any difference?
If the tree is higher than 8-10 feet, we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we should do for those outside units? Or just do it until it breaks?
Actually, the outside units should be cleaned as well. They have a condenser coil cleaner where you should clean them if they're dirty because they get dirty from the dirt, from the grime, and everything else.
So
but going back to your question as far as the thermostat, so that temperature and being set up at the proper range, I would say since we had about 120 degrees, right, we were agreeing on the ductwork. So if we set up that thermostat to 74 degrees, then the house is going to be cooler, right? And we could probably set that up.
So if somebody takes it down to 68 or 67,
no,
tell us why not.
No, we shouldn't do that. The air conditioner is not designed to be a cooler. It's designed to remove heat and keep you modestly comfortable, correct? So they're not designed. If you're putting it down to 69 or 68, that means your machine is not properly charged or it's not removing heat properly.
Oh, my God.
And it's probably old enough that it's not removing the heat.
Okay.
So I would say set your thermostat to about 74, because of the heat that we have. That way, if you set your thermostat to 78, let's say during the day, when you get home, it's going to be still in the 80s. So if you would like to sleep, right, and feel comfortable at 71, 72, or 71, the air conditioner is just going to work all day and all night to be able to reach that temperature, being at 69 if you want it.
So what are the common reasons that people call an air conditioning repair guy? What's typically the problem when the guy goes out or the lady goes out?
An overflow switch that the unit just stopped communication with the thermostat. Thermostat goes completely black. That means you have a dirty coil or the unit is clogged, and it has a float switch where the float switch has a 24-volt signal to the thermostat to disconnect it so it doesn't overflow on the water. So you have to do proper maintenance and keep that drain line clean.
So drain line, that's a big issue.
Yes.
All right. And if it gets clogged up, then it overflows. It goes on your beautiful carpet all over the floor and floods.
Well, if you properly install it with a licensed contractor and get trained with level 5, we'll put a float switch and a secondary float switch with a pan.
Yes.
So that does not happen.
It's like a thermostat for water instead of thermostat.
Yes. Right. It's a float switch. And it's off. Every unit you install, Michael, anybody that does work for you, please have them install 2 drain pans, one on your primary and one on your secondary.
You'll save a lot of grief.
And you'll save a lot of money and save people's work.
So so typically people call up and hey, it's clogged up. They go out and they fix it and going to pay a couple $100 for that.
Probably $350 sure, to come out.
And then you go, should have had a V8.
Right. But there are tablets that you could buy and put on your coil to prevent that from happening.
All right. And so in the average home down here in Miami, all right, what is the typical functional lifespan for the average air conditioner? Functional, not just there.
It should be about 10 years because the manufacturer gives you 10 years of warranty, right, on their parts and equipment as no labor. So they're built to last 10 years. So in 10 years, there's going to be new technology. There's going to be more efficient. Your equipment is going to lose efficiency. So we end up going to customers' places, right, to help out a contractor close up a deal. And the owner of a business, of a restaurant, may say, oh, I've had this unit here for 10 years, and it's 23 SEER. And I'm sorry, sir, but that unit is 10 years old. It was 23 SEER. Right now, it's probably sitting on 10 efficiency. So
Just because it got old.
just because it got old, it's copper, it's aluminum, so it loses efficiency.
That's wonderful. And down here in South Florida right now, 89 to 94 is like common nowadays.
Yes.
And so what else we got to talk about?
I think pretty much we covered everything.
All right.
Basically, want to thank you again for the opportunity for coming here and letting our viewers know about what's happening with AI in the HVAC industry, right? That's most important, our message today.
And whoever's not involved with AI, you will be.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Sooner
absolutely.
or later.
Sooner
and
or
it's going to be sooner.
Again, we use it for helping us, create perhaps an idea or something like that. But eventually it will take over jobs because bigger corporations have found a way to use these systems to be able to save, right, on the cost of the employee. So yes.
And that's where the money's coming from employees, not from the internet service. Or it's like if we can produce this automated system, it's going to be better. Also for businesses, if we can be more efficient. Yes,
there you go.
Same moment. It's like here it works.
Yeah, that is.
Ernie Gomez, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate
Michael Miller,
it.
you're the best.
And people can find you all over the internet, and you check them out, and you'll see lots of videos on your site.
Yes.
And if they want to take some classes, they can call you or email you.
My number is 305-879-2994. And my email, it's acernie@hvacproviders.com. And my website for the school, it's level5hvac.com. And again, I want to thank you. I love this new studio. This is my first time here. It feels very good.
And thank you for being here.
Yep. And thank you behind the cameras always.
That's Antonio over
Antonio, always thank you for
Lorenzo's
your time.
over there also.
Thank you.
Who's this young lady over here?
Again, my stepdaughter, Andrea, which is my right hand. And I want to also shout out to Venezuela.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they are my girlfriend's from Venezuela, also my stepdaughter. And a shout out to Venezuela. Unfortunately, what they're going through.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of help, right, for them. And
it's terrific.
If we could help them, let us know.
Let's look right at the cameras up here.
Yep.
Folks, first of all, thank you for joining us. Second, my brother Grant and I subscribe to the Disney rule, which is when you hug someone, don't stop until they do. Have a great day. Bye.
Oh, wow. I love it. Thank you.